Good day fellas, I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill, and we have a last Clan Wars River Tank VK7201, and I honestly want to believe this is one of the most underrated Clan Wars River tanks. This vehicle is pretty much better Panzer 7. It has very nice alpha damage, and it has a bit more of the armor, which is always nice and always welcome, right? Probably the biggest problem of this tank is a weak frontal mantlet, but other than that, you are feeling pretty damn good. You have 750 alpha damage and 246 millimeters of penetration and kind of slow shell velocity. With the hits, you have even slower shell velocity, 750 alpha damage, 350 millimeters of penetration, which is absolutely huge if you would ask me. It is absolutely insane, fellas. This penetration value is solid banana out of 10, and then you have high explosive ammunition, right? Beautiful. And then you have high explosive ammunition, 85 millimeters of penetration, 750 shell velocity, which is absolutely amazing. And once again, everything is all right. I mean, obviously British tanks have bigger hash rounds, but you are still not feeling like a castrated cat, if we can say so. You are still feeling pretty good with all of this. And at this time, I believe we can start making pressure. What we are using for equipment, we are using ventilation rammer stabilizer, and there is a reason why am I using this setup, because this is like the most basic setup which majority of the people are using, and we are using the bond setup, right? So I am showing the best features of the tank in a way, because let's get real. Players who played Clan Wars, they are not going to play with the standard equipment. They are going to have very skilled crews and so on. So in other words, this is somehow a realistic situation, right? Meanwhile, we are waiting until we can smack this with a 55, and smack we do, for sure. Beautiful. This is exactly what we are looking for, and we are just chilling at this point. Soon we are going to approach this gentleman even more, right? He is thinking he is relatively safe, but no, you are not. Boom, standard ammunition in the face, very nice. And at this point, all we need to do, we need to go up and we need to eliminate him from the game. He is not going to be able to survive this, and even though he thinks he can face Hagas, reality is a bit different. He cannot do absolutely anything here. So once again, and we are not spamming the full gold because we simply do not need to. We are not getting anything extra for spamming gold in this kind of situation. Luckily for us, this guy is not paying attention, so we are smacking him for another 700 in the face, and this battle is looking like it is going to be a pretty damn good game. Meanwhile, we are just waiting until 60TP will kaku his pants, and kaku he did, and at this point we can simply eliminate this IS-7 from the game, and then we can start thinking about the base defense for obvious reasons, right? I would not act surprised if the 60TP will try to move like this, but once again, I do not really mind that much, and I'm going to load the high explosive ammunition, especially for this Fava. This Fava is sitting in open field, and he is not going to enjoy himself in a moment. All I need to do, I need to have a decent angle, and our art penetrated him for 1000. Unlucky Fava. Obviously, he's feeling sad after this, but nothing what he can change there, and now we are going to say hello for Mr. Foch. Foch is trying to cross like this, and kaboom, unfortunately not a penetration with the standards. Not a big deal, I am accepting this, and I am feeling pretty great, and all we need to do, we need to make a bit of pressure. It doesn't matter, this gentleman is looking at us because he cannot hit us very hard with his high explosives for obvious reasons, and we are sending him back to the garage just like this. 900 with a high explosives. My message speaking about this tank, it is better Panzer 7, right? It is very important thing to say, and I think it is one of the more underrated vehicles. This tank has a lot of good things going for this tank, and believe me, the tank is not bad whatsoever. That was my fault. I definitely messed up here, so once again, no complaints, no regrets, and we are still feeling fine. Now frontally, if he's not shooting gold ammunition, I am not afraid whatsoever of this gentleman, and he is going back to the garage. Absolutely amazing, very nice. Now the next victim more likely is going to be the Centurion action shit, and once again we are feeling pretty great with this situation, and I believe we can smack him in the face, Russia, just like this. It's okay, let's load the gold ammunition for Centurion. And I believe he is going to be afraid of us way more than he was before, right? That's the whole plan, that's the whole dream, and this is what we are looking for. Meanwhile, he is speaking, I am aiming, unfortunately I'm missing my shot, but that's completely fine. Relax, take it easy, we have all time in the world of tanks, and our Fava showed where that gentleman place is. Unlucky, what can I say? Meanwhile, we are going to load high explosive ammunition for a budget, and I'm pretty sure we could penetrate this budget without bigger problems whatsoever, and that's what we are going for. Meanwhile, we figured out where the budget is, so now we know, and at this point we can count how many times he is going to shoot. He fired once, he is noticing us, I believe, and he is trying to run for his life, but we smacked him for 1.1 thousand. Now he's very upset, and he is going to flank us, but we do not really care about him that much, and now hopefully we are going to eliminate him from the game in a moment. 3, 2, 1. No, don't ammoniac me, thank you. Bam, budget is dead. Now we have a Ruski light tank who is looking towards us, and I do not really mind. Meanwhile, Arta is smacking us very heavily, but once again, I do not really care that much, and we need to survive this game somehow, right? So we are trying to escape just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. And if we are going to be lucky, we should be able to eliminate this light tank from the game, and this is what I want to see. I want to see this light tank peeking like so. This is my hope. Oh, yoy, I did not notice him. That's okay, doesn't really matter. Let's try to turn. And he is sitting in the deep trouble. Nice. This is what we want to see, fellas. Bam, light tank is dead. Very good. At this point, we are just simply waiting until our support will arrive, right? And we are looking towards Leo, but he managed to penetrate us. Not horrible game by any means. That was very solid game, to be fair with you. Also, our Grille is next to the cap, so hopefully he will be able to win this game. Fingers crossed. I wasn't thinking in this game. I pushed in front and we farmed the tier 10s. It's not even tier 8 matchmaking, so that was impressive. Anyways, let's teleport into the scoreboard, fellas. Excellent game. And we are back, fellas. 7.5 thousand damage, 100 assisting damage, 6 kills. I am feeling pretty good with my result, although kudos to the enemy Arta for playing how he played. He banged our team pretty well. He eliminated our Fava and so on. So kudos to him. Other than that, we made quite a bit of profits, I would say, and everything is looking great. First by experience, first by the damage, and once again, profits made. Very nice. Let's go for round number 2, and meanwhile, fellas, as usual, you know the drill, and remember, we have the index page where you can see rating of the tanks, what kind of field modifications to use, right? You can see the equipment setup, crew setup, Bark of Excellence requirements, and many other stuff, so feel free to check it out. Hopefully you will find something useful for yourself. And once again, the most recent change was Tech 3. You can see everything over there, and obviously if you care about Artas or anything else, you are just clicking on the tank and you are figuring out absolutely everything. So fellas, I hope this is going to be useful, and we are already starting to work on the new project and index page. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, we are working our ass off. We are not sleeping, fellas. Anyways, what do we have? We have a tier 10 game in the Minsk, so we are going to make a hardcore pressure in the city for obvious reasons, and we will try to eliminate enemy heavy tanks without bigger problems whatsoever. Now, this tank has a great armor, this tank has okay mobility, and you can even speed the tank up if you are making a decision to use the turbo. Can turbo make this tank faster? Absolutely yes. Is it worth it? Well, you tell me. How do you feel about this? Other than that, it is once again not bad tank whatsoever. Unfortunately, we missed the shot. That's on me. I cannot complain about being a silly goose, right? So once again, that's my fault. Meanwhile, they have a Jack Tiger who is sniping from the back, not a big deal. And what is happening here? The Super Conqueror, the Standard Conqueror, he's trying to keep us tracked. And Jack Tiger is lighting us on fire. Not exactly what I am looking for, and once again, that's definitely my fault. So at this point, we are going to back up a bit. And we are going to get into better position for ourselves. Once again, I know about this Jack Tiger, but I do not really mind him that much, and we will try to beat the living crap out of the Conqueror. I misplayed this battle a lot. I should never ever be tracked like I was by the Conqueror, and that was definitely my mistake. But don't be tricked, we are still feeling completely fine, and we are going to make this work. Unless Arthas will start banging us, that would be that definitely wouldn't be much appreciated, but once again, we are just starting our journey. Unfortunately, gun handling in this game is not saying hi. Gun handling is saying, oh, you mother trucker, we are going to make you suffer. And that's on me. That's definitely on me, fellas. Anyways, I believe it's fair to say we are misplaying this battle quite a bit. I am not getting those lucky shots or lucky angles, I suppose to say, and enemy Arthas are beating the living crap out of us, and so on, so on. I am misplaying this game, but that's okay. Even though I made so many silly goose mistakes, we still can make this work, I believe, fellas, and hopefully we will get a bit of use. Gun handling is saying, nope, not today. Okay, nothing to change, nothing to do. I just simply need to accept this, and we are taking one for the team here, fellas. Definitely a big misplay from my side. Once again, I would love to say I could play this game a bit better, but I cannot, and at this point I just simply need to accept what we have and what I have done, right? We are having a lot of blocking damage for obvious reasons, right? But once again, this is not going to be enough. Once again, mistakes were made, fellas, and I would love to say we played a great game, but unfortunately everything went against us, right? I was Arta, open, and so on, so on. Anyways, mistakes happening from time to time. I cannot change this, I just misplayed. Skill how you could play this game differently. Well, first things first, I probably could sit somewhere over there and I could have so much better performance because I would be Arta safe and I would side scrap against the stock Conqueror or against 705, and every single shot went into the sky. Not my game, nothing to change, nothing to do. Let's accept this and let's teleport to the round number 3. And we are back, fellas. Ooh. The second game was yikes. It was badly played by me, so once again, I'm accepting my responsibility for being silly goose. Out of 8 shots, we hit 1. We got farmed by Arta. Yeah, that was just simply bad play, but it's okay. Mistakes are happening for everyone, and I cannot complain, and I cannot blame anyone else except blaming myself for being a silly goose. Meanwhile, what do we have in the third game? In the third game, we have Overlord, and we are going to play against the 279E, and I believe, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to punish him like there is no tomorrow. We are going to spank him, and everything is going to be completely fine, right? That's the plan, that's the hope, and that's the dream. So how do we want to do everything? I would say we want to take this position for now, and we want to say hello for whoever is playing here. I believe it's pretty clear, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. From this position we can smack pretty much everyone who is playing here. We are taking our time to aim, but unfortunately I am misaiming myself and I am getting penetrated by the grill. Shame on me, not a great play. I deserved what I got, and it is not immortal tank by any means. If I am making a silly goose decision, decision. Obviously, I am going to get penetrated, and obviously I will take one for the team. It is definitely undoubtable, fellas. And once again, you cannot complain about this. You cannot say absolutely anything that is my fault, right? So once again, if you are accepting to be immortal with this tank, this is not going to be the case. But what you can do, you can obviously spank enemies for humongous alpha damage, and preferably with this tank you want to be close in a way, right? You want to spot enemies or play in the 100-200 meters distance, and you do not want to snipe from the back, because this tank is not created for this for obvious reasons. So at this point we are just waiting here until anyone from the enemy team is going to make a mistake. We know Greeley is sniping from somewhere over there, and I'm going for a blind shot, but unfortunately we are not hitting Greeley, and once again I can blame myself for being a silly goose. Meanwhile, our Foch 155 is saying, ooh, and he is showing the dominance against the E100, so good for him, although I do not really care too much. All I want to see the IS-7 peaking maybe. Jack Pizda is looking at us, definitely not what I want. We are looking for this IS-7 and first smack for 700 damage. That's completely fine. This is alright, and I am feeling good. If he is going to peak again, obviously we are going to spank him once again, and I cannot be too involved in this situation. Unfortunately, I can't. I wish to say I could. I wish to say, yeah, fellas, let's make a hardcore pressure, but unfortunately this is just simply impossible. Once again, where is this Mr. Greeley sitting at? Maybe Greeley is sitting over there. What do you think? Let's try to go for a blind shot, and blinding right there. Definitely not a blind hit, that's okay. 279E is also sitting in the back. Once again, I would love to spank him, but we cannot. We know where enemy Arta is sitting at, but I do not really think we can do something about this. Meanwhile, we see the IS-7 is trying to peek sideways. Unfortunately, we are not penetrating with a heat ammunition, and looks like we had the first extremely great game, and now the game is saying, not today, buddy, not today. Shame. Sometimes it happens, fellas, when we cannot get 3 absolutely amazing games in a row, but we are trying to do our best. Aiming for 3 days and missing our shot, nothing what we can change about this, and we can only accept this, and let's hope we are going to spank the E100. E100 is peeking sideways, he's hitting us into the track, I am going sideways, unfortunately I cannot do anything. Mr. Jack Pizda is penetrating us, that means I'm loading high explosives, trying to spank this IS-7. IS-7 is kind of down to fartable now. Very, very big fat misplay by me. That sucks, fellas, unfortunately, but once again, I would love to say I could play somehow differently here, but unfortunately the situation is completely different and I cannot. I made some silly goose mistakes and there is nothing to change about this. Meanwhile, once again, we know Jack Pizda is sitting somewhere here in the back, and I would love to see our team spotting him for us, and he did. Barasha? Oi, oi. Oi, oi. You see, long range shots is definitely not that great for this vehicle, and we just need to accept this. We are waiting until we are going to get the stunned for obvious reasons, and hopefully now we can spank this 1-to-1 in the face. Right, 1-to-1 gets spanked, very, very nice. At this point we can try to get involved against the E3 and against 279E and so on. Meanwhile, Arta is still saying hello for us. Luckily Jack Pizda is not penetrating us, so that's pretty good. But in the end of the day, this is not looking like extremely good game if you would ask me. I made way too many mistakes, and unfortunately the things did not work that well. And I must admit this, I am relatively lucky because enemies are not shooting the gold ammunition at me. If enemies would shoot gold, the situation would be completely different and it would be way, way, way worse. This needs to be said as well. Meanwhile, we have Greeley who is sitting here. Unfortunately, it is not so simple to find a nice angle for this Mr. Greeley. I'm waiting until E3 will shoot. E3 just fired, so now we can spank this 1-to-1B in the face. He smacked us, and we are not penetrating him. Such a pathetic situation, fellas. When the gun handling is not working, it just simply doesn't work, and there is nothing what I could do about this, and I am so sad, fellas. I believe we need to play one extra game just because of this shitty ass situation which we had. So let's teleport to the scoreboard and fourth game. It is. And we are back, fellas. Third class, 1.1000 damage, 2.1000 assisting damage. Not a great situation, not a great performance, and I'm a bit sad. I know this tank can behave better. So let's change the stabilizer for bounty aiming, and maybe we are going to have a bit better situation this way. Maybe the gun will simply behave a bit better. Let's do this. And we are back, fellas. So what do we have? We have a tier 8 matchmaking. I have no rights to fail. I want to get in this game at least 5000 damage. This would be very, very good, and this would be the score I am aiming for. How we are going to start everything? We are going to go super aggressively till this position here. And hopefully this way we will be able to spank the heavy tanks, and hopefully heavy tanks won't be able to penetrate us. This is the plan, this is the hope, and this is the dream. Fingers crossed. And I guess let's hope for the best, fellas. Skill, why did you had a couple of bad games? I would say in the second game I was too greedy not to fix the track instantly. For a third game, I simply played bad, and the gun handling wasn't treating us so good as the gun could have. So I think that's the problem. Hopefully this game will work just better, and hopefully we will be able to spank them. Meanwhile, we see this Super Conqueror, and we are starting everything pretty well. Now, in order for him to penetrate us, this is not so simple and this is not so nice. I know it sounds weird, but it is definitely the case. Meanwhile, side shot to the E100. Fire. There is nothing better than fire. And now Super Conqueror is going ham on us. This is not exactly what I want, but this is what we have, and we are trying to make everything work in our favor. Making sure we are going to aim for the ML. We did that successfully, turning a bit more, and Super Conqueror is penetrating us like there is no tomorrow. This is quite sad story. Unfortunately, we cannot change absolutely anything about this, and we need to accept this. Way too aggressive from our side, I would say. Once again, you are meeting the person who is willing to shoot gold, and you are losing all your ability for armor, if I can say so, right? Quite shame, but I need to accept this, and I'm dead. I did my best, fellas. I did honestly my best. Nothing to do, nothing to change. This is World of Tanks. If people are loading gold, your armor is not simply working. I am accepting this, and let's see the score which we got after 3 games. We started everything so damn well, and I am sad to see the score going into such a shithole. After 3 bad games in a row, obviously I was greedy. I could have played a bit passiver. Maybe I could snipe from the corner or something, but I thought it is going to be a great decision. Anyways, holy bananas, that's very bad. So what do we have? After 3 games, 3.1000 damage, 1.2000 assisting damage, and once again, fellas, if not the first game which we had with this vehicle, right, in Berlin, the score would be even shittier than it was. Shame. And those were obviously the first 3 games which I played with this vehicle. But once again, it is how it is. Better luck next time. This is what we are getting, and this is how I played for today. Shame. Definitely could be better, but yeah, it is how it is, fellas. Nothing to do about that. Hopefully next time I won't fail. So thank you very much for watching. That was your daily dose of skill, and see you very, very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.